Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by guitarist, musician, songwriter, producer, and rock and roll Hall of Famer. Last time he was here, he discussed an evening of songs and stories with John Oates featuring Guthrie Trapp. His latest album is Reunion. We welcome back the legendary John Oates.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me back.
John, let's go beyond the mic. You wanted to write about the most essential part of our soul and our spirit. How has your thoughts changed about the word reunion?
Well, it was inspired by my dad, who's 100, and he said he was going to be having a reunion with my mom, who passed away. It really struck me hard, and it was a very impactful idea that I had, that I needed to explore that, because what I realized was not only was my dad going to have a reunion eventually, but I was having it, now, considering all the things that went down between Daryl and I, and the fact that we're not going to be working together anymore. I started going back to my original musical DNA. Where did I come from? What was I listening to? What music moved me as a kid, way before Hall & Oates was even a dream. So that's really what's been going on. And this evening of songs and stories that I did with Guthrie Trapp has now evolved into an acoustic quartet. Guthrie's no longer with us because he's doing other things, but I've got these incredible musicians, and it spawned this new album, this series of songs that really seem to capture the essence of who I am right now as a musician, but really with the context of who I was.
I talked with your co-writer, AJ Croce. Did his dad influence you in any way, and how did writing with AJ help you with Reunion?
Well, AJ and I were thrown into the same dressing room at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville during a John Prine tribute show. We did not know each other, but we hit it off immediately. We had an instant connection. All we did was talk about music, and I realized that that he had obviously I knew his heritage and his father's musical DNA, but I didn't realize how good of a musician he was, and a great storyteller as well. So when I had the idea for Reunion, I called him up and I said, look, I got this idea for a song. And I think, something my gut is telling me you're the right guy to do it with. And I was right, luckily. We really, we worked together so well. And he's actually recorded the same song, completely different version of it. And he's going to be putting on an album that he's going to be putting out next year. So it was just great. It was great to have a new collaborative friend, and just super.
Latest album is Reunion, and it is John Oates Beyond the Mic. And John, it's time for the Rockin'. You've done this before. It's 8 random questions. All you have to do is answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is absolutely no pressure.
All right.
How does playing to sold-out shows make you feel as a musician?
It makes me feel gratitude, because they're actually there to hear you.
What's the first guitar you bought, and do you still own it?
Yes. First guitar I bought was from Sears and Roebuck catalog back in the early 1950s. And yes, I still own it.
Very cool. What's the best thing about Tanner?
Best thing about Tanner is that he's his own man.
Would you rather go fishing or golfing?
Neither. Both of them are too zen for me.
John, what's the best thing about your wife, Amy?
She's the best partner I could ever have.
Who was the last person that gave you good news?
I'd like to say my lawyer, but it's not true.
How has your dreams changed from when you first started in music to today?
Well, they've matured. Let's put it that way. They're much more realistic now.
When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you drink?
A cup of coffee with a little bit of oat milk.
And now a special question from a previous guest. I talked with author Chris Epting recently, and he wanted to know the following.
Well, first, you have to give him my best. I saw him a few weeks ago. He is my favorite person I've ever collaborated with on anything, and one of my favorite people on the planet. I would ask him the best show he's ever seen as a fan.
Wow. Okay. As a fan, boy, it's hard. How do I narrow it down to one? I would say the Uptown Theater, hearing Stevie Wonder do Fingertips when he was 12 years old.
Why should people listen to Reunion?
Well, if they want to know who I really am as a musician, they should listen to this album.
It's time for One Big Question with John Oates Beyond the Mic. John, how does music soothe your soul and help you find peace?
Because it taps into the essential emotion that moves people. It's all about something that touches you and makes you want to think, feel, and act.
He still has his first Sears and Roebuck guitar he would like to say his lawyer gave him the last piece of good news, but that isn't true. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer John Oates, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
That was a great interview. Appreciate you. Thank you.
And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic Mini. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.